So the big question is, Calvin, do you drive for Uber and Lyft, which is what I call dual platforming? The answer to that question is hell no. I drive for Uber. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, today is going to be another good video for you guys. Like seriously, I've been getting asked the question a lot. Calvin, do you drive for Uber and Lyft? And a lot of drivers who have been approved for Uber want to know, is it cool for them to drive for Lyft? So right off the rip, I want to let you guys know, for those of you who are out there dual platforming, if that's working for you, who am I to say stop doing that? But I'm making this video because the question has been asked to me, do I drive both? And I need to answer it for you. But I'm going to answer it in an intelligent way. I'm going to answer it the way that I do on this channel. I'm going to give you some serious reasons and some facts about why I don't drive for Lyft and why I only drive for Uber. So let me get your attention right away. Guys, I don't have time to drive for any other companies except for Uber. As you can see here, $1,700 in 1 week after spending $147 in gas, 65 hours online, 158 trips. Beyonce Formation Tour was coming to town on Monday. A lot of people were flying into town on that weekend. I didn't have time to play. I had to go get this money. Now let's get to the video. So number one, I don't drive for Lyft because it causes me to split time. As a business owner, I learned a long time ago, years ago, that splitting time is bad for business. You can't take your time, resources, and your talents and divide it up and expect to be ultimately successful. It's at the end of the day, it's not going to work for you, or the increase that you get is going to be marginal at best. Take your time, your resources, and your talents and concentrate on one thing. Focus. And that focus is an acronym. Follow one course until success, guys. Okay? Focus. So I don't split time. That's one reason, but we're going to get into some real reasons. We're going to talk about the money and why I don't do it. Okay? So that's number one. Let's talk about tips. A lot of people decide to drive for Lyft because they say, oh, you get tips, right? Well, let's just talk about that for a second. Real quick, I'm gonna record my screen here because the things we're talking about, I'm gonna cut in so I can show you this so you can see it. So let's talk about this. Watch this. Are tips taxable? Right? So are tips taxable? So immediately you'll see inside of here it says all tips are taxable, and that's from foxbusiness.com. But if you look up under that, the number one result, irs.gov, the big three, right? Them boys, the big three letters, IRS. They tell you here all tips you receive are income and subject to federal income tax. Well, here's why that's a problem for me. Right, at averaging $80 to $90 in tips a week, guys. I've told you that in my other videos. Right, let me tell you why that's a problem. If I'm getting those tips through the digital platform of Lyft, right, that digital footprint, it's now recorded that I got those tips, and now I'd surely have to pay taxes on those tips. But with Uber, it's cash money. Okay, first of all, I like cash in my hand. When somebody's gonna tip me 5, 7, or 10, or I've gotten $20 tips before. When someone puts that cash in my hand, it's in my hand. It's spendable, it's mine. And depending on how I want my income to look at the end of the year, it may or may not, be taxable. Okay, let's just say that. But when you get your taxes, when you get your tips through the Lyft app, it is a digital footprint. You have to report that income. No, thank you. Okay, so that's one reason I don't drive for Lyft. Okay, so let's just talk about and go in here and find out other reasons. Uber, guys, has the lion's share of this ride sharing business, and what I mean by that is they control probably like 70 plus 80% of this market. And now it's just one thing for me to just throw that out there, but let's look into it. Okay, let's do what I do in recon. So let's go in here inside of Google, right? And let's type in the term Lyft. Okay, you'll see that returns results 16.2 million results. And what that means is 16.2 million websites out there have been documented and recorded from Google mentioning the term Lyft. Well, let's go in here and let's do the same thing for the term Uber. Okay, 406 million results. Now, why is that important? Number one, let's talk, because we're talking about money. For those of you who have taken advantage of my intellectual property and showing you how to build a website, guys, if you're creating information and content on your website regarding Uber, you have so much of a, there's so much content you can create, and people are looking for 406 million results. People are creating Uber content versus 16 million results for Lyft. Nobody's talking about it. They are, but really? Not really. Okay. But let's go deeper into that. Let's go deeper into it, and let's type in Uber driver. Okay. That brings back 30 million results. Okay. And then let's type in Lyft driver. That brings back 12 million results. Okay. Now listen, guys, 12 million versus 30 million. There's a lot more people talking about Uber, which means that it is more lucrative. There's a lot more money out there for you in referrals. And I'm going to get into all that stuff in a minute, but let's get past this and let's go into further detail about why, again, it's not worth my time to do Lyft. Okay. Remember, I have a website, Simple Driver for Uber, right? So let's just go in here to Google Trends and let's type in, I'm spelling it wrong. Let's type in Lyft. Okay, for Google Trends, and then we are going to compare that with the term Uber. Okay, and let's just see what happens. All right, listen. Okay, here we go, and the results come back. Oh my God, you don't have to be a math whiz or a graphic data wizard to see that Lyft, which is the blue, right? Versus Uber looks like the Himalayas compared to like some anthills. Like Lyft can't even sit at the table with Uber. But more importantly than that, let's go down here and let's look at it by interest by region. Okay, who's talking about it by region? Look, remember Uber is red. Okay, look here, interest by region. Look at the map. This is the world map covered by people talking about Uber. And let's go down here and look at the map and what it looks like for people talking about Lyft. Worldwide. Guys, for those of you who have taken advantage of getting your own website, the website starts with www, which means World Wide Web. When you create content, you will reach more people worldwide. You have a better chance of surviving and getting income and getting referrals and signing up drivers. Remember, Uber is global. Okay? Money. Okay? So that's that. Let's get rid of that. I'm gonna go deeper into it, okay? Google makes billions of dollars from their advertising platform, right? Google AdWords and then Google AdSense, which they split with publishers, okay? Which, by the way, once you create content on your website and you're getting traffic, you can put Google AdSense code on there and you can make a bunch of money. We'll get into that, all right? But let's just go in here and let's just find out. I want to see what people are searching for in the terms. And let's drill it down and let's look at it, okay? Let's go in here and let's type in Lyft, right? I'm giving you guys some golden nuggets here. Lyft, let's type in Uber. Let's type in Uber driver. And let's type in Lyft driver. I can go on and on with keywords, but these are the big boy keywords, all right? So let's look at it and see what happens when I click get some ideas. Let's see what Google returns to us, right? All right, so I'm gonna put this in order of who gets the most. Okay, right away you can see that Uber, the average monthly searches for people looking for that term, 1 million to 10 million. Okay, Lyft comes down 100,000 to a million. What? Okay, then Uber driver 100,000 to a million. The term Uber driver gets as much searches as the term Lyft. What? And then you got Lyft driver 10K to 100,000. What I'm telling you, it's not even worth my time. And my time is I equate time to money and trading time for money. There's no way I'm gonna create content up for Lyft because it is second rate when it comes to traffic and people looking for it. But let's just get rid of that and let's go into my next thing. Okay, let's talk about YouTube. There's YouTube's people out here who have channels and they're YouTube partners and they make millions of dollars, okay, creating this content. So if you go in here and you type in Uber, Lyft, just both of those words, and you go in there and you filter it, right? Well, let me do this so you guys can see what I'm doing, because you might want to do this on your own. And so what I did is I typed in Uber Lyft and then I clicked, search. Okay. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring me up a bunch of results. What I'm going to do is I'm going to filter those results by view count because I want to see who has the most views for those terms. Okay. So here you see Conan, who did Lyft, joined with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. Very influential, right? I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So number one with 31 million, but it's Conan. It's Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. Who's winning right now, okay? But look up under this. Regular people who had regular channels, okay? 4 months ago, and it'll be different depending on when you see this, but 8 million views for Uber riders picking up in a Bugatti, okay? Uber riders picked up in McLaren, 8 million here, 7 million here. Then you got Lyft spending money trying to look cool, right? They're paying celebrities to do what they call undercover, and they just started this. So you see here 1 month ago, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, they are now paying celebrities to drive so that they can try to look cool. But let me tell you why that's not working. That brings me to something here, and I'm going to go here talking about influence and power. The reason they do that, they understand that influence and power from people who are in the entertainment industry is very, very lucrative. Well, guess what? If you go in here, and here's another nugget for you guys talking about content. I'm going to my website. I'm going to type in lyrics. Okay, this is cool content that you could create. Why? Because this type of content goes viral and it brings people to your website, and people see your website and they sign up. You give them a lot of money for referrals and all of that, right? But let's look at this. 14 Uber lyrics recorded by rappers and singers. Okay, 14, and it's actually more than that since I created this post. But if you go through here, you got Drake Energy, you got Wiz Khalifa Decisions, Child's Play with SZA, you got Childish Gambino, The Worst Guy. You guys can go through the list. But what am I telling you is these guys are mentioning Uber in their lyrics for free. They didn't get paid by Uber to do it. They did it because they understand that with their power and influence, they want to be cool. And with their power and influence, they're influencing tens of millions of other people to take an Uber versus Lyft. That's more money for me. It's more money for you. There's more Uber people requesting Uber rides than there could ever be Lyft, okay? They have the lion's share. But let's just go into it a little bit more. Let's shut this down. Okay, and let's go into it and let's talk about from another money standpoint. Okay, so going here and looking at and I'm gonna record this real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna start recording my iPhone. Okay, so on my iPhone, listen, because I'm approved for Lyft, and then I'm gonna go in here and show you why I'm approved for Lyft. Okay, so listen, 7:55 in the morning, right? I woke up and I went to the Lyft side just to see what was going on in Atlanta. Pretty much nothing, okay? Maybe a little bit of surging out here in Sandy Springs, which is like 30-40 minutes away from me, and it's just a little piece of surge. The same 7:55, I scroll over here, I go to my Uber app, look what's happening. It's surging all up in Atlanta, and this is like 10 minutes away from my house, 10 minutes away to go get this money. Listen, guys, it's just more people requesting Uber than it is Lyft. That's a fact. It is what it is. I would never waste my time being a Lyft driver, okay? But let's go into this and let's talk about how I use Lyft, though, to make a ton of money, all right? So here's how I use it. So I'm approved as a Lyft driver. So let's go to my Lyft app here, okay? So I open up the Lyft app, and so it's one thing for me to tell you I don't drive, but I need to show you guys that, because when I talk to you, I need to make sure that I got to accept the terms of service. I want to make sure I'm in compliance because I don't want to lose it, and I'm going to tell you why. So let's go in here, and let's go into my ride history. I guess I need to go into, oh, no, my bad. I need to switch over to driver platform. Sorry. So let me go in here to the dashboard, okay? So I go in here to the dashboard. And then from there, what we want to do, my Wi-Fi is running slow. Come on. All right. So what we want to do from there is we want to go in here and we want to look up at driving history. Okay. So you'll see 2016, 0 rides. Okay. 2015, right? 0 rides. I don't fool with Lyft like that. It's not even worth my time. Make way too much money with Uber. Okay. But let me tell you why I'm approved and why I keep the Lyft app. Lyft's email marketing campaign is ridiculous. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. It's 10 times better than Uber's, which Uber has a good marketing campaign, but email marketing campaign, but it's nowhere near as good as Lyft's. So I like getting these emails from Lyft that tell me, hey Calvin, this is the week ahead, you know, guaranteed prime time. They actually show me where it's good, because they have pretty good technology too, guys. So they know where the money's going to be. So they send me this information and they show me where the money's going to be. And they actually have something called money spots. Oh my God, Falcons versus Carolina at the Georgia Dome, Georgia Tech versus Miami, Braves versus the Tigers. The Illusion is at the Fox Theater. They tell you the times. If you watch my navigation video, my Uber navigation video, you know I'm going to plug this into my Uber navigation and I'm going to go get that money. It's child's play. This is kind of like insider trading almost, right? They tell me where the money's going to be. But more importantly, let's go back to the Uber app and the Lyft app, and let me show you what else I do. So if I go here, let me get to the dashboard, right? Come back out of here, right? Dashboard. Let me show you what else I do. And I do this on the Uber side too, but I love doing it on the Lyft side because these guys are pretty serious about trying to get money. Well, come on, done. All right, here we go. So let me get rid of that. All right, so what I'll do is go here, switch over to the rider side of the app, okay? This is fun. So I actually can look in here on the rider side of the app and I can see where the Lyft drivers are. Let me tell you why this is important. Golden nugget. This is how I found out that the airport was a water hole. I actually went inside and I saw all these Lyft cars sitting over here. I was like, Jesus, why are these guys sitting over there? There must be some money over there, right? And sure enough, I found out that the airport was a freaking gold mine, okay? But I can do that here and I can move this around and I go to Cityland and I can just see, I can see where the Uber drivers are. I can zoom in, the Lyft drivers are. I can zoom in, I can see where they are. Okay, y'all hanging out there. I know these are money spots. Now I do this on the Uber side too, but it's great to do it on the Lyft side because I know exactly what, if I match up where the Lyft drivers are and I match up where the Uber drivers are, I know where a golden money spot is, guys. This is insider trading for the most part. Now, here's another golden nugget. Another way to use this is, if there's a bunch of Lyft and Uber drivers in one spot, I go away from them. You're not gonna get the call that you want. So I go away from them to another one of my money spots. And that way I can get a ping just like this. I don't hang around where there's a bunch of congregated drivers waiting to get a call, because I told you, if you do that, you go into a queue. I don't want to be in a queue. I go somewhere where someone is hailing an Uber rider and I go right to that spot and I get a call just like that. That's a good tip for you guys, okay? Guys, listen, Uber has the lion's share. They're on Shark Tank. I mean, you got Chris Sacca, right, who's one of the early investors in Uber, and you got Damon John, who actually had an opportunity to invest in Uber and declined, and it cost him like $1 billion, okay? But both of those people are on Shark Tank. Chris, guest appearances on there. But what I'm saying to you is, you can't get that type of exposure. All that means is you get a higher clientele, you're going to get more frequent rides, and you can concentrate all your time, talents, and efforts and resources at being the best Uber driver you can be. And if you watch my channel, you will be a very good Uber driver. You will make tips that you don't have to report if you don't want to. But if you do that on Lyft, then it's digital footprint. You're going to have to record that income. All right. And I know for a fact that Uber has a better clientele because, once again, I'm in Atlanta, which is the busiest airport in the United States, and it's an international airport. I pick up people all the time from the airport and I run them down into the city to hotels. And you know what kind of conversations I have? These people are telling me, hey, I love Uber. My corporate office pays for all my rides. I'm sorry, wait a minute, what? Several times people have told me that the Fortune 500 companies here in Atlanta pay for their employees to take Uber from the airport home or to the conferences and the convention centers and stuff like that. The corporations roll with Uber, which means a higher clientele, which means there's an opportunity for more tips to forge better relationships. Remember, I told you 6 ways to get paid. That means that you could get a higher clientele for your other business. For me, photography, right? It's just more money being an Uber driver. I would never split my time and do it with Lyft. Now, with that being said, I hope I blessed you again with some information that helps you become a better Uber driver, a better business owner, okay? So that you can make intelligent decisions about how to maximize your income. So, wrapping this thing up, Calvin, do you drive for Uber and Lyft? Lyft? No, I'm good. No, I'm good, bro. If you have not watched the video on how to make your own personal Uber website, the link is in the description, or you can go directly to my website with this link here and watch it on my website. But listen, you are missing about $20,000 a year from not having your own personal Uber website. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do